Hey fellas, JROE here. It's your Thursday guy coming in on Friday in the AM. Time this past month has been irrelevant to me. I've had such a hard time just staying on track. Life has been so busy. I'm actually just coming back from an event and preparing for a very long day tomorrow. So I think it's really important that I get this in right now and apologize to all the fellas out there for, both my lateness and my earliness. So let's move forward. Resources in Beantown. So just to talk a little bit about my transition and my process and how I walked through or actually tried to navigate and figure resources out. I began my transition in the early 90s. I decided that I wanted to take testosterone therapy. I had a good community of fellas around me at that time who was supporting me, and I felt empowered to move forward. And so what I ended up doing is making those connections. They told me that my first step was to go to Fenway Health and have a mental health assessment. So in 91, it was pretty easy, actually, for me to get in the door. I mean, everything, especially because at the time I was on Commonwealth Care. So I expected, Commonwealth Care is free health care. So I expected, a long journey. It took about 3 months after my initial assessment to get a mental health provider. My health care did take care of both my mental health appointments as well as my regular doctor appointments. I initially probably went through my mental health care for about 4 or 5 months. Of every 2 weeks. So every 2 weeks meeting with my mental health therapist. She actually diagnosed me with gender identity disorder. From there, she brought my case to the team. They gave the okay for me to begin taking testosterone. So in 91, I got the okay. I got all my paperwork ready from the doctor, and decided to postpone getting my initial shot for whatever reasons. So here it is, 2011, and I have been on testosterone for a year and 2 or 3 months. And I'm excited to say that it was a very easy process. I went to my doctor, which again is at Fenway Health Clinic, and gave her the paperwork that I received some time ago in 91. She began to do my blood work, check in on some initial just mental health stuff because I'm no longer going to a therapist. After that was all done, 2 weeks after my first visit, I was on T. In the beginning, my health care did not actually recognize testosterone as a prescription, so I had to pay out of pocket. But luckily, the cost was very low. But after a while, there was some initial changes. Once Obama got on board, health care changed a little bit, and now it takes care of my testosterone. So I'm very excited about that. Other places that you can look into, in 91, I also connected with the Sydney Bourne Health Clinic, which was at that time through JROE Health. Now it's a part of Fenway Health. So actually, Sydney Bourne Health Clinic focuses on young people. So young fellas out there under the age of 21 who's thinking about transition, the Sydney Bourne Clinic would be the place for you to go. Start, prepare. It's really focused on young people. So other resources that I tap into, there are some groups out there that I connect with that are kind of activist groups that create social spaces for guys like me, you know, I'm a single dude, so I'm looking. So they create spaces for us to connect with each other and build, connect with the ladies, connect with the gents, connect with whoever you into. So those organizations are Qualk, Queer Women of Color, plus Boston. It's really popping. A lot of these orgs, you're going to have to check out the website. I can't give you any initial, but usually on the website it tells you the events. Also, the Hispanic Black Gay Coalition, although it says Hispanic and Black, they're really working on expanding their programming not only to just Hispanic and Black, but towards all people of color. And they're also expanding their programming to focus a lot more on trans work as well. So I would check them out. They have really good panels and discussions. So moving into kind of resources around if you're struggling, if you feel like you're in an unhealthy relationship, I connected with an organization called the Network La Red. It's a really powerful organization. They're doing big things. Not only are they working with our community and doing work around domestic violence, but they're expanding that work and teaching other agencies how to work with the queer community itself around domestic violence. So look that up on the website, the Network La Red. Other organizations that are taking things to a political level, like politicking in the government, I would say I want to give kudos to the Massachusetts Transgender Political Coalition, really getting out there, creating bills, advocating for our rights in that government sphere so that we can advocate and use those rights to advocate for ourselves and get the quality care that we need. So that's the Massachusetts Transgender Political Coalition. You know, there's so many resources out there, things that I'm not going to even be able to talk about because I haven't even been able to connect to. But what's a really powerful element is that through the Massachusetts Transgender Political Coalition, there's a group called Transvisions. And this group is a collective of agencies inclusive of a couple of the organizations I talked about. And we've come together to actually try to create more programming out there for trans people of color. So part of this is surveying the community, creating social events for the community, asking the community questions. So I'm really proud to say that, you know, although the resources may seem limiting, they're there, and they're there for us. And there's a crew of cats out there that's working to expand that and really look at resources in particular to us, our culture, and who we are, and how do we, you know, expand it or help people to understand that we need more, right? Anyway, I tried to keep this short, but thanks again, chilling with me Thursday. I see y'all next Thursday. Be safe out there, fellas. 1.